Let's go over Supreme Leader Snoke when it comes to Star Wars The Last Jedi. This is Mike Zero here once again. If you guys are new here to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. So as you all know, toward the middle of this movie is when we witness Supreme Leader Snoke's death by the hands of Kylo Ren by use of Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber igniting through him and cutting him into two pieces, very much like Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace. Now, I know there was a lot of criticism on killing Snoke so soon and not really going too far into his backstory, or at least telling a little bit about his past. So today, we will be going over what Rian Johnson had to say about Supreme Leader Snoke's death and why he actually decided to go through with it. So this is what Rian Johnson had to say on the Empire Magazine podcast. So he goes on to state, "I like Snoke as a character, as Andy Serkis plays him," the director clarifies. "He's delicious, evil, and fun, but Kylo to me is where the interesting stuff is, and the notion of clearing the deck of the Vader-Emperor dynamic so that all bets are off in terms of how the villainy is going to play out, that to me seemed like a much more interesting thing, and it just seemed natural. If he had stopped in the middle of a scene and given a monologue, it would have stopped it dead in its tracks, and we would have cut it out in the editing room. This is not Snoke's story." So that's what he said on the Empire podcast. Now let me stop right there for a second, because I do believe that if they at the very least, took at least maybe 30 seconds worth of screen time out of The Last Jedi for Snoke to say something about his past, anything, be it through Snoke, Luke Skywalker, even Leia, since she actually has a past with Snoke, and she actually has a grudge against him due to him manipulating Ben Solo to becoming Kylo Ren. If it were just 30 seconds of telling a little bit about Supreme Leader Snoke, I think that a lot of the fans would have been more satisfied with Snoke's death being so soon in the sequel trilogy. So when I look at Supreme Leader Snoke, I'm not going to say that I didn't enjoy that scene. I actually thought it was quite the epic scene where Kylo uses the Anakin Skywalker lightsaber and ignites it and cuts him in two. I just wish that Snoke had at least some sort of action, like Emperor Palpatine did in Return of the Jedi, where he's electrocuting Luke Skywalker with the Force lightning, quite repeatedly. He just keeps doing it and he's trying to kill Luke over and over. I think that if we got a little bit more of an epic moment from Snoke in The Last Jedi, that it would have been a little bit more, I guess you could say, approved that Snoke died so early without exploring much of his background. Now, it has been said in the past, though, that director J.J. Abrams will be diving into Snoke a little bit more, so that actually may be told through Kylo Ren as a character, briefly to Rey, or one of our other characters, perhaps. But when I'm looking at Supreme Leader Snoke, I will say that I really did want to learn a little bit more about him. Just a little bit. It didn't have to be anything, it didn't have to be anything significant. I think it just needed to be something that gave you an idea of who he was and where he actually comes from. So guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.